Hello and welcome back to my videos. Today I want to talk about a little bit different things, which is one of the orcs that there isn't a lot of, but I think it's very special to Zombicide Fantasy's version of Zombicide. And that is the Necromancer. Now, I only own 4 of them, and each of them luckily plays pretty differently, but I do know that there exist others. But I don't have them, so I cannot talk a lot about them. But I want to explain what the 4 I have they do and what makes them so much different from each other. So let's start with the normal Necromancer. This is the one from Black Plague, which is basically the basic Necromancer. So everything that I don't say about a Necromancer, they will pretty much do the same as he does. So first off, they only do 1 damage and can be eliminated by a power 1 weapon. So they are pretty easy to defeat, but they are also the last on a priority order, which means if there is another zombie on it, if you attack that zone with a range attack, you need to deal with that zombie before you can hit the Necromancer. So what makes the Necromancer scary is when he spawns in, he spawns with a zombie spawn token. And as long as he's on the field, that zombie spawn token will be counted as a spawn zone for zombies. So when you are in the spawn phase and spawn for all the zombies, you also spawn for this one. And that is in addition to the normal spawn zone. So let's say that there is a spawn zone here and he spawns here. He will spawn in and then you'll have to spawn with him. So he always is accompanied by some zombies. Which itself is pretty interesting, because that means that when you eliminate him, you also are allowed to remove a zombie spawn token from the board. You can remove the one he came in with, or the one that's already here, unless the rule says otherwise. Which I personally find very interesting, because then you can start funneling where you want the zombies to come from, if you need to, or just make sure that they are spread out so you don't clump up, because that can also be a bit much problem. Now what he does is, see if I can get it to focus, is his plan is actually not to attack the players. His objective is to escape. So let's say that let's see here, let's say that he spawns in here. His objective is now to get to here, and when he activates, he will leave the field. Meaning that now there is a permanent spawn token on the board, which will continue to spawn zombies. And if there gets 6 or more, including the zombie spawn token, you will simply lose the game. So he literally makes it so that while there are other objectives, you need to eliminate him, because it's else, first of all, there will be too many zombies to just deal with in 1 turn, or you simply lose the game. And I have lost games with it before. And I think when you play the first time, you realize that the reason why they say 6 is because if you get to 5 spawn tokens, they are pretty much spawning too many zombies for you to deal with at any given time. So that is the basic Necromancer from Black Plague, and personally, probably the one I played the most with, because I love playing with the basic figurines. Next up we have the Orc Shaman or Necromancer, which came in Zombicide Green Horde. Now he does most of the same that the other one did, except that he do 2 damage if he is trapped in a zone with an adventure. He's just like the Avengers. The players cannot just escape, he will start attacking them. So he will do 2 damage there. But also, when he spawns in, there are something that the Green Horde is building on, is something called the Horde, where you take 1 of each figurine of a runner, a walker and a brute, and you put to the side next to the rest of the Horde. And when you draw a Horde card, all the zombies from the Horde will join. So not only do he come with a few zombies, he also increasing the Horde size, making him even more interesting than making him a little more interesting than him. And personally, I think it's just because he does a little more damage, he is a little more dangerous than the normal Necromancer. And I actually think it's completely cool, because it made me, when I started playing the game, to have two different challenging ratings, either playing with the orcs or the humans. But these are the basics from the two first games, core games that came. Next up, we moved on to White Death, where we were introduced to the Defiled Necromancer. Now, the Defiled Necromancer actually don't move, so when he spawns in, he will of course spawn in with a zombie zone, as always, but he will also start causing corruption wherever he spawns. So what corruption does is, instead of he moving, the corruption zone will move forward, pushing toward an object token that will always be if you play with the Defiled Necromancers. Now, this is making him very hard to get to sometimes, because the zombies will literally stand in front of him, and the corruption will go through buildings also. So that means that if there's a wall in the way, it will simply destroy the wall, and now the zombies and the players can walk right through it. But it also makes it so that the zombies literally spawns closer and closer to the objectives. And personally, I think he's a very good example of how to change the Necromancer formula while still keeping it interesting and fair for the players to play against. And all the games I've played in White Death, he's literally my first priority, because of you are set on a timer for him not to reach the object token, which can be representing a lot of different things. So yeah. And the last one we need to talk about is one I actually haven't had the time to play a lot with yet, and that is the Shredder from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles expansion. And he does the exact same thing as the Corrupted Necromancer, except, as you can see here, every time someone misses an attack roll in his zone, he will give 1 wound to the survivor. So let's say that there are like 4 zombies here, and you you roll to attack, and you hit on a 4. You roll 2 dice. Here he wouldn't hit you, but here you will take 2 damage, making it very, very scary to actually go into a zone to try to deal with him. That wasn't part of the zombicide. Just ignore that. Making him so that it's actually better to try to take him out from a range. Let's see if I remember correctly that range doesn't work. Very important to take him out by melee, so you don't need to use a lot of dice, and also countering the dice meta with getting as many dice as possible and just go in and roll and hope you're hit with a lot of attacks. Come on, focus, please. So yeah, this is my 4 Necromancer that I own, and why I think and what is making this so much of a different game than the modern and the other ones I've seen. Because these guys will always be a part of the game, somehow or another, but they also always give the zombies a win condition that you cannot just bunker up and get powerful enough to deal with them. Because if they spawn early, you have to go deal with them, because else they will escape and you will just have more zombies to deal with. And yeah, we can just take a look at all the cards to look at the beautiful artworks of all of them, even through the Necromancers, and they aren't exactly known for the beauty. The Defiled one, the Shredder one, the OG one, and the Orcish one. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and have a lovely day, and bye!